A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel and welcome to this collective reading. And as you can see in the title or the thumbnail, it says, When a Demon Falls in Love with You. Now, I decided to make this video today to give a lot more clarity to people so that they can actually protect their energy and not get sucked in by these manipulative talks or manipulative situations or actions or circumstances that the demons put you in. And also understand what is this whole thing, demon falling in love with you. One thing that you need to understand is that the demon cannot fall in love with anyone but their own selves. The demon has a reason to choose you. Just like you are the chosen one for God, you're also the chosen one for that particular demon, that entity. It wants something from you, but it's going to give you the illusion that they are there for you. That's what they do. That's their trick. That's their game. They usually make their victim and their prey, the one they're preying on, they make them feel that I am going to make you a happy, fulfilled person. I'm going to complete you. I'm going to give you whatever you want. I'm going to give you love. I'm going to give you affection. I'm going to support you. They also use this language that I will always support you. I will always stand by you. I will always be there for you. But they're saying it to almost every other victim they have. And probably they say it in a time when you're vulnerable, in the time when you need this person or need someone, and they recognize that opportunity. So they're going to make you feel that whatever they promise to you, if they say, I'll never leave you, they can leave you. They say, I'll never do this to you, they can do that to you. I'll never do wrong to anyone or to you. I always do good for people. I always care for people. I always take risk to protect other people. So the demon creates an image, a really good angelic image. But planet Earth is not about angels or demons. Planet Earth is a place of neutrality. It is where you learn to be in the zero state. It is where you learn non-reactivity via surrender to source, not to your physical needs or to your body or to your desires, but to source. And look, I'm not saying you're going to be a saint. It's not easy to be a saint. It's difficult to be a saint, okay? True saints are not typical saints. They're unpredictable as well. So there's a thin line. There's always a thin line. And to figure those things out, God has put those people, those demons in your timeline. Demons always think too much about themselves, okay? And they actually do it based on their experience, because the number of people they've fooled or the number of bad things they've done the most horrible things. They do the most horrible things. For them, there's no mother, father, brother, sister, husband, wife, best friend, this, that. They don't see like that. They don't function like that. All they see is how I can exploit someone, how I can use someone, how I can trouble someone, how I can hurt someone. Because when they hurt other people, they feel a power. They feel like they've dominated someone. And when you give it back to them, they don't like you. And usually they also like that kind of match. They also like that kind of challenge that someone gives to them, because then the bigger the challenge, the bigger their victory is. And the more they win, they feel like, I can do this to this person. I must be very powerful. So to understand how demons work, you need to learn this to protect yourself, to defend yourself. And this video, this content, this download could be sent to you for your help and support, so that you don't get trapped by it and you don't go into that miserable state where you're feeling helpless and powerless. You don't need to. There's no need. And sometimes when other people do bad to good people or to godly people, I would say, because God doesn't want you to be always goody good. God is like, you got to be a badass as well. You can't always be so innocent, so naive, so helpless. I can't do bad to anyone. But what if someone is doing bad to not you, but someone else who matters to you, or in general, if this person is just pure evil, then are you just gonna not do anything? or at least you need to change your mindset about it. Because I know a lot of times physical or external things really don't matter or have that much power till it's not backed by a strong belief system and faith. So, no, they don't love anyone. They don't love you. They're just creating an illusion that they love you. They're just going to pretend that they love you. I also know people who are under infection stages. So, they are not 100% possessed by the entity. They could be halfway into it, and there's still some divine force, some power at play that is sort of doing things, but they don't have good intention for people. That's something you need to know. But then why are you there in the first place? Why are you dealing with this entity? Why are you learning so much about it? All of that we'll discuss in this video, as well as more. If you have questions, please ask me. If you want to get into therapy with me, please check out the different courses I have, and there's one that specifically is focused on this type of entity attack. You can also get into reading with me. I use different tools and techniques to get to the answer that can help in your situation. But all the credit goes to masters and source. It's 1000% them, and I'm just a medium, and literally I'm a nobody, and it's them who has put me over here to do this work. So let's start from the very beginning. I have in the past talked a lot about this energy because I have like so many videos, and I don't really plan which one, from the marketing and PR perspective. I don't like plan and okay, what's gonna get views or what's gonna get this, that. It's literally very honest, straightforward stuff that I'm putting out there. And I know a certain type of content gets more visibility, or for some reason it's completely algorithm based, and there could be reasons that some people in the collective are more in number, they are experiencing certain things, and there are some people who I feel they could be less in number, but they are also experiencing certain things, and these could be really high vibrational, like extremely high vibrational people as well. And I do feel some of those people are encountering or dealing with these demonic agents or demons. So how does it work? Number one, a demon obviously is not going to directly show up unless you are a spirit release therapist or a healer or some kind of work you're doing. Usually they choose a host, okay? And I saw one video, and this is the reason why I actually decided to make this collective reading. And of course, it's also a download. It has been given to me over and over again, but I want to collect all the data possible, and as I said, be as honest, straightforward, but also give correct information. So I had to let the download complete fully. So I saw one video, one channel which talks about how demons can fulfill your wishes and your desires. That is not true. Demons, they're not gods, they're demons, okay? They cannot fulfill anybody's wish or desire. So what do they really do? What are they good at? They are good at creating illusion, and they are good at manipulation. They are extremely, extremely, extremely manipulative. They're hardcore manipulators, and they can, with their lies and with their acting and with their behavior, they can actually fool a lot of people, and they do get away with it. And that's how they use people, because mostly when they harm people or when they hurt people or they fool people, they just like to create portals in people's minds and their energy bodies, okay? So that the other person continues to think about them. And when someone gets fooled or used or scammed, because there are different types of demonic entities, or sexually used, or in some way they're taking from you, but they want to continue taking from you. So they're gonna do something so shocking and so the audacity of what they do to people. And because they don't have remorse or empathy, they don't feel bad what they've done. They don't have that, that conscious uh, thought that, okay, I'm doing something wrong to someone and I should not do it. It's gonna hurt somebody. It's gonna hurt XYZ person, so I should not do it. But they're more like, I need energy from this person. I need to do something, create an implant, put it there, so that this person is going to think about me. And every time this person thinks about me, it is not going to be a positive thought, of course. It is going to be a dominant thought. And the thought, which is pulling out the energy, is going to be something like, this person is superior or smarter or clever than me, because I'm such a smart person, I'm a spiritual person, I'm getting protection from God, nothing wrong ever happens to me. You're living in that zone, you're doing inner work. But this person comes along and says, oh, this is a person of faith. The demon says, this is a person of faith, and this person's faith is very high. Let me make them feel and believe that your God is lower than their manipulation. Like, they have an issue with God as well. And many a times, let me tell you, they also use God. They use God's name. They also use God to manipulate people, to put them into situations, and then they go like, where's your God protecting you now? And it's not like a verbal dialogue, they say, but it's a feeling. They arouse that feeling in you that if you're so good, if you're so smart, if you're so amazing, if you're so healed, or you're a kind person who's God's favorite, you're God's favorite child, why is God not there for you right now? When I'm fooling you, when I'm manipulating you. So what they do is, when they find someone who they feel is their victim, their prey, they are going to study that person and they're going to first create an image. Okay, so now some people do tell me that, if my person, or whosoever it is, the perpetrator, if my person is just a host and they're not actually the demonic entity, then how are they at fault, and shouldn't we do something to help them out? Now let me tell you, demons don't strike a deal. They don't go for people to choose as host if they do not see that the person is corrupt or is greedy or is morally weak. There's no moral value in a person. Those are the types of people who actually allow the demonic entity to take over them and they can be the host. In many cases, this can be seen as some kind of possession. But some possessions, when I've done spontaneous possessions, when I was in Bombay, I happened to actually live at a haunted house for a while. I, of course, did not know it was a haunted house, but there were 2 or 3 people who could sense things. And, in a horror movie, you usually see that there are 4 friends and all 4 of them walk into the house at the same time. But there are 2 who are always suspicious. One who's always saying something like, yeah, it's like weird. But there's one who's literally oblivious, literally doesn't know, literally doesn't care, doesn't bother. Because the fear level in that person is very low. The faith level is so high that they actually don't see things that early. But since I'm an intuitive reader since a young age, and I have lived in environments where we have seen possessions of a different nature. There are families, and I belong to one of them from my maternal side, who are basically caretakers. They're sort of, they work with the watchers. So you have angels, you have demons, you have bad entities, but you also have positive entities that look after the families, the whole clan. So they choose people in the family, in the clan, as host, and they don't directly choose someone. They look at the most quiet, clear-hearted, positive, pure-hearted, selfless people in the family. And usually such families are big. Like my grandmother had 9 kids, and before that she had more, but some passed away. So out of 9 kids, we all cousins included, we all cousins and brothers and sisters, we are all at least 40 in number. So it's a big family, and there are all kinds of people. It's not necessary all people are going to become host to the deity, to the Dev. They might not be, some might choose to join hands with the demons also. That is pretty much possible. So the deities, they are going to protect the whole clan against anybody like that also, because it's a greedy, selfish world out there, and people I've seen it. Personally, I've seen it. People are so selfish sometimes, or they're so materialistic that they are like, what the hell? I want this, even if I have to be corrupt, even if, they think like that, even if they have to be moralistically wrong, even if they have to seduce someone, even if they have to scam someone, they're going to do it. They don't have the moral boundary because their greed is that strong. So people who become host to the demons are not dumbasses. They know a lot of things, and that's why you should not be so sympathetic towards them, because they're aware of what they're doing. They know that what I'm doing now is wrong. Every time they do something wrong, they know about it. And then it's about them. If they want, they can control their urge. If they want, they can control themselves and say, no, I'm not going to do this. It's wrong. It's not God's path. It's not fair. It's not true. It's not correct. It's not honesty. It's not loyalty. It's deceit. So I will not participate in deceit. But that's not how they think. Such a person knows that if they're going to make a lie, if they're going to fool someone, it's going to give them what they want. Let's say a man who's possessed by a demon entity, which is, of course, he chose to be the host to that demonic entity. The demonic entity is giving him the illusion of confidence, of power, of domination. And the demonic entity is like guiding the whole thing, that if you're gonna fool this lady and sleep with her, you gain dominance over her. And then once you're done with her, you can walk away from her. And she's going to call you, message you, beg to give her attention that you were earlier giving her. You were giving her the illusion that I will marry you, I will have a child with you, I will provide for you, I will do this, I will do that for you. And so what? Let's just have sex, or why don't you give me your money, or whatever it is. So they play this game, the demons, and this is just one example, okay? As I said, they do a whole lot of things to people which are not nice. Okay, so they will usually always make other people feel that they can fulfill the desire. So they cannot fulfill the desire. This is where I want to correct all the healers and all the people. I don't know why they're so enchanted by these demons. They think, and I think some web series also. I saw one TV show, and a Korean TV show, and they were like, the demon can do this. No, demons can't do anything. Even if they're making money, even if you see like someone is very rich, you have to ask that person, how are you rich? Do they have a fair job? Do they have a straight job? Like, it's not wrong to be wealthy and rich. Of course you can be. God is your provider, and God is going to give you resources. If you want to do something big and grand, if you want to like help certain people, you need to be in that position to help others. You need to have that many resources to be able to provide for others. So there's nothing wrong in being rich and wealthy, but you can't take anything with you. When you die, you're going to leave everything behind. That is something that you should always remember, that I can't carry all these resources with me, and these resources are going to stay here. So when I leave, then I also need to look for the right person to whom I can pass on the resources, or I need to inculcate qualities in my own children or grandchildren or whosoever is there. If you've adopted kids, I need to teach them the right values. Now, I don't know, you can try. Some people are born with bad karma as well. Not everybody turns out good, but at least your intention should be so. Because if your intention is that way, if you feel that your own bloodline or somebody, your kid or your grandkid is not that good to carry on your legacy, then you are going to look for someone who can. And with your experience, with your test, all the tests that you have gone through, with your faith, you probably will one day find the right person for you if your intention is correct. And there can be different ways to pass on the legacy. It doesn't mean you have to make someone sit on the crown, or have to give the chair to someone. It should never be about the chair. You always look for people who don't care about the chair or the position. Anyway, coming back to these demonic agents or people who are entities, they've actually become the entity. Remember always They are really good illusionists. They create illusions. They do a lot of talk. They make a lot of promises, but they never fulfill any. So if you are dealing with a demon and the demon can't do much to you, the game's actually reverse. So first of all, the demon has collected a lot of people's energy, number one. Now some of you might say, I'll go to number two later. Some of you might be really upset with God sometimes. Like, I'm a good person, I'm kind hearted, I'm caring, I'm a giver, I respect everyone, I don't have bad karma, I'm not treating people badly. Then why, God, why do you put such greedy people on my path? Why do you put such demonic people in my path, on my path? Why do I have to deal with these kind of people? Why do I have to go through this? Because sometimes God is choosing you to be a wall. Otherwise, these demons can harm other people. They can harm someone innocent. They can harm someone. They can destroy people because they're very good groomers. Remember this. Demonic agents, demonic entities are also good groomers. And they have a lot of time, because this is what they do. They're not here to go for a job and have a career, and they're not like thinking on those lines that you could be, or a good person could be, that I have to be a better person, I have to make my family proud, I have to give to everyone, whosoever I can, I have to care for everybody. That's not how they think. So that's why some of these demonic agents, they also groom children. They start grooming kids at a young age for whatever XYZ horrible thing they want to do. Because they have a lot of time. They're thinking about, if I groom this kid now, 10 years later, this kid is going to do this for me. Or 2 years later, 3 years later, this kid is going to please me. They groom people to please them. They groom people to literally rob them of their pure energy. So it could be possible that you are the chosen one. You've been sent as a protector for other people. Because now this demon is dealing with you. Now this demon is like, oh, this is a better energy. This is a better resource. This is a better, they smell it, better light. I need to suck out the light and all the positivity and all the faith from this person. This person is going to be my next victim, my next prey. And they start pursuing you instead. And that pursual probably protects 20 other people from their torture, from their robbery, from their scam. Because if they actually do horrible things to like extremely innocent people, young people, imagine what they do. Like I was a witness to this kind of energy when I was really young. By God's grace, because I have my masters, because I know there was something more divine happening with me. I just happen to witness them, figure things about them. Today I can talk about psychopaths. Today I can talk about serial killer energies. Today I can talk about even those really horrible energy. But at the same time, there are so many malevolent narcissists out there. There are so many bad people out there. Borderline psychopaths. They're doing so much harm to people, and they have this really innocent face, and they pick words and they pick stuff from others. I know this person who saw that I rescue animals. I've been rescuing and feeding animals for a long time. So they figured out that this is a good image. This is a good social image, because a lot of people, even though a lot of people trouble us, but a lot of people also respect us for being an animal rescuer, an animal feeder. So this person picked on to that part of my personality and went to some woman. Okay, I'm a woman. I've never trapped a man with this personality trait. But they probably thought that this is a good thing to impress others. So this person picked up this personality trait, which is a real, genuine love for animals I have. And I'm not going to say I'm a perfect animal lover, but I'm going to say that yes, I have animal love for street animals, especially, or cows and dogs and, cats and birds and specific animals, I would say. Because I'm also into understanding food. So yeah, we're going to talk about it later, in a more elaborate manner. But this person picked onto that trait and went to some other people to entrap them and used it to appear like an attractive person. Like, look, I do this, I rescue animals, I feed animals, I provide medical treatment. They've never done all this, by the way. And even if they did, it was not like a lifelong thing. They just saw someone doing it. They probably did couple of things for a couple of weeks or months, and then they said, okay, this can be used. And I also know some people who have been into this for a really long time, couple of years, maybe 5-10 years, they've been helping animals, yet they've used it to seduce women, men, because it looks good. It's a good personality trait to have. And some other things, this is just an example, some other things as well, like pretending to be spiritual, pretending to be religious, pretending to going to the church or to the temple or to the Gurudwara, and then using it to scam people or to spoil people's life. I'm not going to say all religious people, all spiritual people, all healers, all readers can be perfect all the time. Let's also take that out of our understanding that none of us can be perfect. Even the bestest people are going to have somebody who's not happy with them. But there has to be some kind of moral understanding. Yes, there are also people whose images get spoiled. They're good people, but a wrong allegation is put on them. Those cases are also there. But still, in the end, I would say, since we are talking about the demons here and how they use manipulation tactics to spoil other people's life, I'm going to say that we all need to work on our discernment, whether it is self-discernment, whether it is discernment for other people. And at the same time, we need to have faith. So there are two core dialogues, two core beliefs that always should go hand in hand. Number one is, everything is working out perfectly for me and I'm always taken care of by God. God is always taking care of me. God is my savior. God is my protector. Eventually, you will learn why you're in that place. Like in the Matrix, Neo goes to the Oracle and he says to the Oracle that you always knew that this is what I'm going to choose, isn't it? And the Oracle says, yes, I always knew you're going to choose it. In fact, you also kind of knew. But it's not about me predicting. I mean, I'm just saying it in my words, not like literally dialogue delivery. It's not really about the choice as much as it's about why you choose it. Why you choose to have discernment, why you choose to have faith, why you choose to forgive, why you choose to move on, why you choose to surrender, why all these stages in the twin flame journey or the ascension journey, why is it important? Why are you learning via romantic connections? There are so many people who go to caves and they practice. But why are you the chosen one to be in a relationship or to be in multiple relationships, eventually to understand the psychology of bad people and good people? Because God wants you to understand through these avenues. And if we surrender to God, we can ask a lot more questions that can help us. Like, for example, you need to keep asking yourself, who's in my mind right now? So the demons, they create portals, they create imprints and implants, they create spaces, and they're going to stay there in your head. That's where they stay, in your head. So the whole day, from morning to evening to afternoon, and they're not thinking about you, by the way. They don't think about you as much as you think about them. You like to believe it, that this person thinks about me, this person misses me, this person loves me, this person cares for me, this person desires me, this person is always there for me. But no, they're not. Even when they call you, contact you, message you, it's because they're making sure that you're thinking about them or you're going to think about them. So can you really stop thinking about them? I'm not saying you have to run away, because there are some situations where you can, if you're lucky, if God wants it to be like that. I'm not going to say what's correct and what's not correct in your context, but in some cases, God wants you to figure it out and leave. Okay? And in some cases, God wants you to stay in that situation. So let's say if you're one of that person who has to stay around this demonic host, let's say it's a human host, it's not a demonic person, And you do see their split personality. You do see their other side, which is a good side. You do see their innocent face. But it's like story of Red Riding Hood, where this wolf dresses up in that red gown and acts to be like a normal person, a lady, human being. So they could be just around you. They could be just using this body, the host body, or the personality, or the face. Because I've seen a lot of these people who are demonic people, demonic entities. When they talk to others, they're so calm. They're going to trigger you. They're going to instigate you. They're going to provoke you. And then they're going to be like calm. They're going to be like, relax. What's wrong with you? Why are you shouting? Why are you doing this? Did I say something to you? After doing and saying everything, they'll say, I didn't do it to you. The gaslighting, it's immense. And this is all, it's frustrating. So, number one, they want a reaction from you, which they calculate, and they feel really good when you react exactly how they want you to react. So they calculate it. They say, if I'm going to treat this person in a certain way, this is what this person is going to do. But I want you to turn it around, and I want you to flip the narrative. Okay, you know that they did something intentionally so that you block them for 5 days because they want to go out and have fun. Let's say it's someone you're dating, or it's a work thing and they want you to literally sign something, or they want you to agree with something. And let's say they make you do it, and then you realize that, oh, I got played on with this person, by this person. And that's the time, if you figure it out early. Some people figure out, they're so good with discernment, they start figuring things out in 5 or 10 minutes. And then later on, they become so good that they figure it out there and then. And they got really good rebuttals, and they got really good stuff to say to these demons. And the whole idea is not to get trapped by the demon, but to actually make the demon experience what they've put other people into. But demons are very confident because they don't have empathy. They don't have remorse. So when they put their mind into something, they usually get out of a lot of situations because they put their mind into it. So your job is not to take revenge from them. They just want to make people think about them, and you have to stop thinking about them. You have to literally not give them much space, any space for that matter. So you need to ask this question, what's in your mind? And you need to put God over there. You need to put God because they're mocking God with their behavior and interfering in the life of a godly person, or alluring or putting greed in the mind of a godly person. They know that this godly person is going to feel a lot of guilt and regret later on and feel like, oh, why couldn't I see it earlier? Why didn't I figure it out much earlier? Why didn't I walk out from it? Why didn't I go? Why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? That's exactly what they want you to do. They want you to feel guilty and remorseful. They want you to feel bad. They want you to criticize yourself. But let me tell you, you have to flip the narrative. And I'm going to talk more about it. If you have any questions, put it on the comment section. It would be really interesting to answer your questions. This is where I'm going to close this one, but I'll see you in another one, next one. One love, peace out, and victory to Ram.